Bubbles, whether in higher education or in housing, occur when the government intervenes in a free market and forces people to behave in ways they wouldn't behave otherwise. We're dealing now with the student debt crisis, which is very similar to the housing crisis, both in how it started and how it's going to play out. The Federal Reserve is keeping interest rates at historically low levels, as it did with the housing market. The federal government is offering tax credits for people who take on student loan debt, just as they did with people who took on mortgage debt. In addition, the federal government is taking on student loan debt itself, which is removing the risk from banks and putting it on the backs of taxpayers. All of this is the same ingredients in the student loan market that the government used in the housing market, and we're going to see the same effect. We saw a run-up in housing prices caused by this government intervention. We've seen the same thing happen with tuition. Tuition rises, again, for the same reason that the government has inserted itself into the marketplace and is pushing the markets to do things they would not do of their own volition. The coming student loan crisis is going to be worse than the housing crisis. When you declare bankruptcy, you cannot absolve yourself of student loan debt. In addition, you have no asset. You can't go back and resell your education to pay off the student loan debt that you owe. So in total, while we're seeing the same kinds of things happen in the student loan market that happen in the housing market, the implications for the borrowers in the student loan market are going to be much worse. We talk about higher education as if it's this single entity, but it isn't. There are a whole bunch of different degrees that students can get, and the value of these degrees is very different. At the high end, someone with an undergraduate degree in engineering or economics or mathematics can expect to earn about $1 million over the course of his life, more than he would have had he not gotten a degree. On the other hand, someone with a social work major can expect to earn under $100,000, more than he would have otherwise. Either college education is a valuable investment or it isn't. If it is a valuable investment, there's no point in the government subsidizing it. On the other hand, if it's not a valuable investment, the government has no business subsidizing it, because when it does so, it simply wastes our resources. Either way, there's no argument here for the government to be subsidizing higher education. The fact is, the government doesn't know what degrees are going to be valuable and what degrees are not going to be valuable. People are fallible and they will make mistakes, regardless of whether they're agents in a free market environment or bureaucrats in a government. The important difference is what happens when they make a mistake. In a free market environment, we have signals of profit and loss. These signals don't occur with government intervention, and so there's no mechanism for identifying and correcting errors. In the case of higher education, the answer is to allow people to make their own decisions as to what they're going to study, where they're going to study it, under what conditions they're going to study it, all of those decisions free of government interference. What we need is for the government to stop subsidizing higher education. The result will be that we will end up using our resources in the best possible way. And if we make a mistake and we do it wrong, we've got built-in incentives to correct and to do it better. None of that we have when the government intervenes.